Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. So, one of the main factors that I kind of was pointing out in the previous video with the community college and how to be successful was basically I felt like it was all over the place. So I thought there was a lot more into each of them, and there was a lot more to talk about in community college in general in order to be successful. Because I personally was looking for that person that will give me all these advices. Therefore, I thought it would be a better idea to create this series of videos where I'm talking about these points that helped me become a more successful student, and success to me was getting best grades that I possibly can in order to apply and get accepted to the best university that I possibly can, a four-year university. And therefore, I thought this series will kind of, by tackling each factors on each video, will kind of answer that. And in this video, I thought I would talk about the organizations or communities or offices that do exist within each community college that you or any students should take advantage of. One of which is the EOP or EOPS office, which I also talked about in the previous video. And the reason I believe that is very helpful office is that it basically offers you two advantages that majority of the programs in the community college do not offer students, and that can heavily affect the students' performance in a class. And one of them is this early registration. And early registration would basically give you an advantage to, or you, or I mean the students will give you an advantage to apply earlier than everyone else. Basically, you're applying with those who have disabilities or those who have priority registration, and that would allow you to choose the best professors that you potentially want or are really excited about for that class or that major. And it is very important to choose a right professor, at least in my opinion, from attending community college for 2 years, as well as finishing up my degree, which was mainly all around or surrounding what the professor was doing, or how was their attitude, or how their teaching was. So I think choosing the right professor is very important. One of my best friends, she started community college with this idea that she would go for these harder professors who had not so good reviews, let's put it that way, and quickly she understood that it's not just worth it. She has to go with these better professors with better reviews. And the reason for that is, yes, you might have a harder or tougher times in those classes, and you might potentially learn more stuff in those classes. However, in the range of that one semester or 1 year of your educational journey, there are times that you cannot perform your best. I don't care how successful you are or how well you can basically go through classes or semester and perform well. There are times that you cannot, and in my case was when I had to, there are like those ER situations that will come up with my father, because my father is 93% disabled and I'm his caregiver, and there were like nights that he wasn't feeling well, so I had to wake up at 3 a.m. and be by his bedside until 5 a.m. or 6. And how much energy would that leave someone like me who has a test tomorrow or has to perform in class? And in those situations, or that's just an example, for anyone can be different, but in those situations is when you need an understanding professor that will understand your situation and roll with it, or give you that extra opportunity if when it comes to the testing you mess up or anything. And so that's one of the factors. So understanding of the professor is one of these beneficial factors that will basically altitude to the reviews that you often read and carry with their name, as well as the way that they approach students, the way they approach teaching. And I've been into classes that, trust me, the teacher was just doing it because to earn an extra amount of income, They were very unpassionate about teaching. They were very when it comes to understanding the students, it was just like they didn't care at all. They just wanted a robot that would turn in the assignment at their best at any level. And so that's when you want to aim for those great professors, and often they get hooked up immediately. Like, I know students who wake up all night, stay up all night in order to be the first one to register for the class, and that can't be the situation for all of us. Therefore, that priority registration will really put you at advantage. And EOP or EOPS office is one of those offices or programs that can give you that advantage. The second one was book voucher. Book voucher for me was $250 to $300 per semester, and back in the days, the college wasn't as expensive as it is now with all the inflation, and it was a huge help. A huge help. It will never cover all the expenses that I had with when it comes to the books, but it was a very good relief, if I should put it that way. And that aside, the EOPS office has like different benefits, like these educational packages or these different meetings that could be very beneficial for students. But those were the two factors, book voucher and early registration, that I thought was the best coming out of this office. The second office or community that I would really be involved with, which I saw a huge benefit from, was the financial aid office. The financial aid office, because my family did not make that much money, neither I, so I was qualified to receive financial aid, and one of the main factors that I think this should be in this list is that in these financial aid offices, there are counselors that are very helpful. However, if the student puts the time, because it is a little bit more difficult or challenging to schedule those appointments with these counselors. However, when you sit down with them, if you ask the right amount of questions or the right questions, that can heavily help you. And when it comes to this FAFSA application, when you're indicating your information in any sections, even a slight bit, like check mark in that one box, can affect your financial aid amount. And I've learned that the hard way. Thankfully, by going to these offices and having these appointments, I was able to learn a ton, and basically fix that over the years that I was receiving the financial aid. But a lot of people miss out on those opportunities. A lot of people don't have any ideas why they are receiving less financial aid one semester from another, or don't receive it at all. All of a sudden, they don't get qualified. And just meeting with them is crucial. Like, for example, one of these questions in the FAFSA application was that how many people in your family attend community college or higher, receiving their basically participating in receiving their higher education. And the amount of number that you put in there can affect your financial aid amount, and I didn't know that. I literally learned that when it was too late, basically. So what I'm trying to say is that by sitting down and having close contact with these offices, you can learn a ton, which can benefit you a ton. And please follow up with them, because if something happened to your financial aid package, because you just don't want to be go through that barrier. And then the third will be the scholarship office. I should be ashamed of myself, because I did not basically make that connection with them throughout the 2 years that I was in community college. However, the last semester, right before I graduate, I had this class that got canceled, and I just showed up to the office, and I was like, hey, I'm here, I'm trying to see, I have good grades, and I'm trying to see if I can get any scholarships. And that one meeting changed my life, because the person who was there, the counselor, basically guided me towards Jack Kent Cooke Foundation scholarship, which I was able to become a semi-finalist due to the unfortunately, due to the technical difficulties that I had with my old laptop. I wasn't able to submit the two essays that they wanted on time, and I had to forfeit myself, or I had to forfeit but becoming a semi-finalist. But regardless of my story, if I would have never gone to that office, I would have never find out about that or this scholarship or all the external scholarships that they know of, but they're waiting for students who have a need for them to go to their offices. So please do that. I didn't, and I regret it. I always look through the emails and look through all these like DVC scholarships that were particularly for the DVC, but I didn't know there are a ton of external scholarship that they can also guide me to. And so yeah, I will definitely recommend you guys to check on these 3 offices, and Transfer Center can be one of them, or the 4th option. However, in my case, I was able to get more benefit from just meeting with the counselors more often and meeting different counselors when it came to having a question about the same program. For example, when it came to TAG, which is very popular program with the community college, or at least it used to be, I would just like hit up different counselors to see what are their perspectives about that and about getting accepted or applying under that program's name. That was very useful, and also they're way more educated, at least from my experience. They are way more educated than those people who work at the Transfer Center. So I saw more benefit from seeing counselors, and I know from my personal experience that a lot of counselors get busy in the beginning of the semester. However, don't trip on that, because as soon as the 2nd week hits or the 3rd week, you can easily schedule an appointment, and there are a ton of drop-ins appointment that you can take advantage of, and just like 2 or 3 questions, and especially nowadays with these virtual appointments, 2 or 3 good questions that you thought of beforehand can knock it out and give you that answer that you're looking for. So again, look for these 4 to 5 offices that I've mentioned: EOPS, scholarship office, the financial aid office, the counseling office, and if you want, the Transfer Center. Regardless, I think you have to bang on all the doors that you find, and if you don't like some of them, just like I didn't like the Transfer Center, walk away and work with other offices more. But take advantage of these opportunities that exist, and definitely don't sleep on these 5 to 4 offices that I've mentioned. I will try to again make more series or videos with this topic of community college, because it is a very important stage in all of us life, and hope that can help. Hope I can be that friend that I never had, and that can give you guys a little bit of advice if I can. Thank you for listening, and hope you enjoy your day.